still fresh off a nice trip to Spain. Got a lovely tan. It suits down here in Brighton. The crowd are singing Southgate's name. Has he picked the right squad for this one?
Only time will tell. I am shocked that Jack Grealish never got in, really am. But yeah, fingers crossed. I think it's a great opportunity for England to go on and win this tournament.
Because Gareth Southgate's usually been criticised sometimes for being so loyal to players. Now he's gone the other way, picking players on form. Is that maybe a positive step, a different step that we're seeing from Gareth? Is this a new Gareth?
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? It's different playing tournament football. It's completely different than being in good club form for your clubs, because that's what happens usually. You play well for your club, you get an England call-up. That's usually the way it works. Different in this big tournament. Pressure's on. We're expected to do well. It's not one of them we're just turning up. You know, I'd be shocked if it wasn't us or France who won it.
I was going to say, because we were together a few years ago, yeah. England, Scotland. Enjoy that night. Do you remember that?
I remember it like it was yesterday. Yeah, especially after. Yeah, it weren't good. Yeah, the fans weren't happy that night. So yeah, hopefully we'll be in good spirits. They're in good spirits at the moment. Hopefully that continues tonight.
Yeah, absolutely, and it does feel, look, like you said about expectations, I think back then there wasn't really expectations that England would potentially get to the final then, but now a lot of expectations to win. Have they got the right experience and balance between experience and youth to maybe meet that expectation?
Yeah, I think our Achilles heel's going to be at the back, but I think we've got enough attacking. You know, looking at the tournament so far, it's been loads of goals. You know, it's been amazing. So hopefully if it's going to be about scoring goals, you know, and it's going to be open, then I think we'll be the team. I think if it starts getting into this nitty-gritty really tight, defensively I don't think we're great, but going forward, on paper we're as good as anyone.
As good as anyone. Let's pick out a few of those players. One in particular, Phil Foden, who hasn't necessarily shown his best form while playing for England. We've obviously seen it at Manchester City this year. What's it about Phil Foden and maybe England where that just hasn't worked just yet?
It's different when you play for your club. A lot of things go through Phil Foden. There'll be phases in play. You give the ball to Phil Foden. You've got players that work together week in, week out. When you come away with England, there's four of them players like Phil Foden who want to get on the ball or you can give it to. So it knocks your times on the ball down. As soon as it knocks your times on the ball, and then it's all of a sudden you start playing panic football. He's just got to calm down. He'll get into the game, grow into it. You know, for me, he's not the man. You know, I think it's as simple as anything. If Harry Kane has a good tournament, we win it. If the others have a good tournament, we got a chance. But it all comes down to Harry Kane for me.
Harry Kane leading away. And look, Jude Bellingham, he's still so young, but we saw him rise to prominence certainly at the World Cup. It felt like he was leading England during that tournament. What are you expecting from him after, you know, another successful season, particularly at Real Madrid?
Yeah, it's going to be hard. You know, Phil Foden got a lot of criticism the other day for not playing well against Iceland. You know, this is what's going to happen. These are young kids. They're young, 22, 21. You know, it's a lot of pressure on them. We put a lot of pressure on these kids, and I just think we've got to let them go out and play. Hopefully it's their time. When you're youngsters, your form's up here or it's down here. When you get older, your consistency becomes a little bit better. So for me, we just got to hope they hit them highs in this month, you know. If they don't, we have to wait to the next one, and that's what it's like when you're youngsters.
Well, let's talk about tonight, though, and Serbia and the challenge that is. Obviously, a few familiar faces in there, particularly someone like Mitrovic up front. How are England going to cope with that? Because you mentioned it earlier, no Maguire now in that team. Defensively, maybe that's a little bit of a problem area. What are you expecting England to do to try and counter the threat that he's got?
I think we can't give away silly free kicks and give away set plays because they're a big team. I don't see him opening us up in play. I don't see him having passages of play and we're all over the place. But when it comes to set plays, they're a big team. They're a big team. They've got some physicality about them. I think that could be our problem. But if we play anywhere near we can play and everybody comes off that pitch at 7.5 to 8, we win.
And what are you expecting from England, particularly their game plan? Because are you expecting England to dominate possession, dominate the ball?
I hope so, but I just think we become impatient. I think we try and play. I think we got to play the Premier League way. We got to play it fast and furious. People love the Premier League because you have a corner at one end, there's a shot at the end 30 seconds later. We need to play that way. We get into a way of playing Serbia's way and we roll it along the back. Then, technically, they're all good players. but they can't live with our energy and the way we move the ball and the skill factor. But we got to play that way, and that'd be up to Gareth, who he's got a job and a half on his hands, if I'm being honest.
That he does. So look, the elephant in the room with It's Coming Home playing right now, Paul. The crowd are singing it a little bit behind us. Is it coming home?
I'd be shocked if it didn't go to England or France. I don't see anybody else winning it. People are telling me about all these other teams. These two teams for me are head and shoulders above everybody else.
Yeah, it's been incredible tournament so far. You mentioned that before. Yeah. England or France is Paul's prediction, but you never know. Look, I think all we're hoping for tonight is a fantastic atmosphere. It's certainly building down here at Brighton Central Park. We're expecting close to 2,000 in attendance. You can tell Euro fever is really here. You ready for it, Merce?
Yeah, and no rain. No rain.
And no rain.
No rain.
No rain.